All right, before we get started, I'm just going to read something here. For the Senate Rules Committee, if rules approves late introductions, you will need to file the LSRs with OLS today. We suggest that you or your aide go over there right after the meeting of OLS because they'll be expecting you. We will ask OLS to complete the drafting of all the LSRs by Thursday, January 29th at 4 p.m. Prime and co-sponsors must complete the sign-off by Tuesday, February 3rd at 4 p.m. The Senate President may waive these deadlines, but only if OLS needs a little more time to complete the drafting, and we will expect to have all the late bills signed off by February 3rd. And with that, I recognize Senator Carson.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, members of the Rules Committee. I have two bills for consideration for you this morning. The first one deals with risk pools. As you know, we had a bill last year that dealt with risk pools, and unfortunately it failed. So we are going to take another stab at it, and we're going to start with the Senate-approved version of the risk pools. And again, that is something that we all should know. We all voted on it, so it's just something we should be familiar with. And do you want me to move on?
I'd say do the second. We're going to do everybody in a row. So you introduce your bills, 3 in a row, or 2 in a row, 1 in a row, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And we'll vote on it after that.
The second LSR deals with education financing. You know, everyone is well aware that there was a case that was filed, a Conval decision. And so we looked at that very carefully. And so the House has a version, as you can see here. It's House Bill 1815. We also, we felt it would be appropriate if we had the same exact bill coming from the Senate. So this is a bill, the governor had put together a working group of people to come up with this. So I want to applaud the governor for being very proactive in addressing this issue. So we're going to bring it forward. As we all know, the legislature is really the laboratory of ideas. And this is an idea, and I hope that we have a great, robust discussion on education financing.
Any questions from the committee? Seeing none, thank you. You can come up and sit, and then I'll ask for a vote on this.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so as Senator Carson is on her way up here, is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor of the risk pool and education finance late bill, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, thank you very much. Senator Perkins Poker, you are recognized. Both. Okay. You voted both. Okay.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm before you with 2 late files. Both are requests from constituents. So one is from a barbershop owner in Portsmouth who asked that we revisit last year's SB 87. This would allow for the serving of cocktails in certain environments in barbershops. And we just want to revisit how that went down last year, I think, to come back probably to the Senate position. And then the second one is a late file concerning AI. Obviously, these, sort of new AI tools present a little bit of a challenge for business. And so making sure that we have some sort of protection in place, being able to enforce AI in inappropriate circumstances, like a consumer protection type position. So this bill would just ask us to think about as a group, what's the best way to do it, but suggest that we create kind of a, just consumer fraud protection position at the DOJ to deal with AI.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee members? Seeing none, thank you, Senator. I'll wait for you to come up here so we can vote on that. While Senator Perkins Cook is coming, is there a motion to approve the late bills?
So moved.
Is there a seconded by Senator Rosenwald? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none? Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Senator Rosenwald.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think as most of you are aware, the state sets nursing home rates twice a year based on cost versus what their costs have been. It's based on the acuity of the resident mix. It's also subject to something called the budget neutrality factor, which means that the more expenses go up if we bump up against the appropriation rate, reimbursement rates go down. As of January 1st of this year, 34 nursing homes in New Hampshire were hit with significant daily reimbursement cuts, one as high as $54 per resident per day. I think this is not only dangerous for the health and well-being of the residents, but it will also further back up our hospital system if nursing homes close. 20 of these 34 facilities are actually nonprofits. Most of the county homes are also affected. So this bill that I'm seeking permission to file is a relatively small general fund appropriation to help mitigate those rate cuts. It won't solve it, but it might keep some facilities open. And it also asks the department to convene a work group to report by the end of the year on what our rate setting methodology should be.
Thank you, Senator. Questions from the committee? Seeing none, thank you. We'll
Thank
wait for
you.
you to come on up. As Senator Rosenwald is coming up, is there a motion to approve the supplemental appropriation for nursing homes residents? There's a second. I'll second it. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, congratulations. Chair recognizes Senator Ricciardi on drug pricing.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. For the record, Denise Ricciardi, State Senator for District 9. This late file bill, I was at the request of constituents, and I think overall it will really help our Granite Staters. I'm here to discuss a critical practice by pharmacy benefit managers, PBMs, that directly harms New Hampshire consumers. It increases healthcare costs and raises serious legal concerns. The proposed legislation will require full disclosure to consumers at the point of sale and drive down healthcare costs. The most compelling issue is PBM's deliberate non-disclosure of lower drug prices at the point of sale. PBMs routinely know when a consumer could pay less by using a discount or manufacturer coupon, by buying directly from a pharmacy and bypassing insurance, choosing a therapeutically equivalent alternative. Yet this information is withheld, allowing PBMs to profit from retained rebates, spread pricing, administrative fees, and steering to PBM-owned pharmacies. Legally, this practice is significant under the Sherman Antitrust Act and the Federal Trade Commission, suppressing critical price information and levering market power to extract higher payments. It constitutes an unfair method of competition, and under the Clayton Act, PBM's vertical integration and self-preferencing harms independent pharmacies and reduces consumer choice. Under New Hampshire RSA 358, a non-disclosure of readily available lower prices is an unfair or deceptive practice that harms consumers. In short, PBMs profit from keeping consumers in the dark while consumers pay more than necessary, not because the drugs themselves are more expensive, but because PBMs conceal cheaper alternatives. This legislature is not being asked to set prices. It is about asking to restore competition by ensuring transparency, by requiring PBMs to disclose discounts, rebates, coupons, and the ability to bypass insurance does not distort the market. It corrects an abuse of market power that both federal and state law are designed to prevent. When consumers have full access to pricing information, competition works. When PBMs conceal it, they profit, healthcare costs are driven higher, and New Hampshire patients lose. The proposed legislation will rectify these distortions and inequities and drive down healthcare costs for the citizens of the state of New Hampshire. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Questions from the committee? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the drug pricing?
So moved.
Oh, you do have a question. Senator Rosenthal.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Just a question, there are two PBM bills already filed. Have you crosswalked your ideas against them?
No, I don't know what they are, Senator Rosenwald. I just went, well, like I said, these constituents came to me and they want these healthcare costs to be driven down. But thank you for the question.
Thank you.
There is a motion to approve, seconded by Senator Rosenwald. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none. Thank you. Senator Bertzel has withdrawn her bill, and so we're going to entertain Senator Lang. Senator Lang, we're going to take these up individually.
No problem, Mr. Chair. So on the first one, we have, thank you, members of the committee. This request for a bill is about mandatory refunds issued by DRA. My good friend Norm Major, when he was around, this was one of his favorite issues to talk about, is the liability of the state for businesses that have excessive money that they paid for taxes but haven't requested a refund. And every year they pay a little more than they need to in their estimate, and then when they true it up, they find out they paid too much, but they never asked for a refund. And those numbers have been creeping up, and it's a liability on the state. So a couple of years ago, with my last term in the House, we ended up passing a bill that would have required, that requires mandatory refunds by DRA of those overages. We hit the first trigger already, and it was 500%. Anybody who had more money than 500% in their account of their liability, they were mandated the state issue a refund. The next tranche will be a drop from 500% to 250%, which is a significant amount, and it's going to be pretty dramatic to state revenues. So what I'm proposing in this is a tiered process where every biennium, we just reduce the total by 50%. So in the next biennium, it'll go from 500% to 450. We'll issue refunds for that, and then we'll drop the next biennium to 400%, issue refunds for that. It just stabilizes state revenues and helps us maintain our cash flows.
Thank you, Senator. Are there questions from the committee members? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second by Senator Rosenwald. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none. Mandatory refunds issued by DRA. Late bills been approved.
On to the next one, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much. Biennial budget for counties. As we all know, I think most of us up there have served as a representative in the state. And one of the processes that you have is also doing your county budget. But we're trying to do the county budgets the same time we're trying to do the state budget. And so what this proposal would allow is a county to vote to allow to go to biennial budgets just like the state, a 2-year budget with the 2 years starting in the off year. So year 1 of your term, you would work on the state budget, and year 2, you'd work on your county budget. The idea is to even the workload flow for members in the delegation, and also to ease the administrative burden on the counties so people could just do their job and not have to, as you know, when you do a budget cycle, that every 6 months you're starting all over again, right? And doing another budget. You approve the budget, and then 6 months later you're starting the budget again on an annual budget. So the idea being would allow the the county to do a 2-year budget across a biennium. I did speak to the Associated Counties. They have no objection to this bill. This is at the way I envision the bill working is the county commissioners will vote whether or not it goes on the ballot at the next state election. If they do, it goes on the ballot and the voters approve a biennial budget, then they'll use a biennial budget.
Wonderful. Discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none? All right, Senator Lang.
I understand this, you're gonna have a conversation about study committees.
Yeah, well, you know the song, right? 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Traditionally, we definitely, these are bills that need eminent needs, and traditionally, we don't do study committees, but we're willing to listen to you, and
Sure.
and then we'll vote.
So this was literally brought, so this bill is about the Winnipesaukee River Basin, which is a water project within the Lakes region that covers sewer and water. For the Lakes region, for the weird reason, it's owned by the state. And the communities would like to have a conversation about how to change that and go on. So all of my communities in the Lakes region approached me and asked me to put in a bill for a study committee so we could work on a bill for next year for the ownership issue of this. If the study committee comes out and says there should be a change in management and ownership and how we deal with that. And so it's a hot topic in the Lakes region. And because it has to do with the state is setting some mandates on capitalizations for reserve funds at the state level. And if the communities don't agree with that capitalization, they want to do something different and manage themselves, but they don't have any say in the or authority to do any of that. So it affects the tax rate and the rates of the water systems up there. So they've asked me just to put this bill in, and I don't care if we attach it to something else later on, but it is important that it gets in this year so that in the next term, somebody could pick this up and potentially put a bill in to deal with the ownership issue.
If you can draft up an amendment that we can bring into energy, I'd be happy to entertain it into one of our other bills if
That is acceptable to me.
okay. So is there a discussion?
I'll withdraw it, make it easier.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Senator.
All right. Now we're getting into some heavy hitters here. Senator Pearl, how are you, sir?
Well, good morning. My name is Senator Howard Pearl from District 17. I'm here to offer you one bill that I was hoping I didn't have to bring, but this is dealing with an issue that we discovered about a month and a half ago, dealing with the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. In the previous budget, we had funded a project at the Northwood Meadows Dam. We put the money in. The department has been working, getting all of the engineering done, and when they did get ready to go and start work on the project and realized that the money was in the previous budget and it had lapsed and they had not caught it. And so now they have all of the engineering work done and no money to do the work because they let it lapse unintentionally. So I know this is an appropriation. We are tight on funds, and I've explained to them that I would come and ask, and I guess my ask of the committee is if we can let the bill in, we'll very likely have to table it and wait and see if we have the money to fill it as we get toward the end of the cycle. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Senator. Questions from the committee? Is there a motion?
So moved.
And discussion? Seeing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none? Congratulations, Senator.
Thank you very much.
Senator McHugh?
No, Senator Sullivan.
Senator Sullivan, my apologies. I'm dyslexic, so it's okay.
I won't hold it against you. It's early. Thank you. Good morning, members of the committee. So I'm bringing in a late bill request for childcare. It's something that's discussed every election cycle, and I was meeting with some folks in Manchester last year that are in the biotech industry, and childcare was a big concern for them coming here. And I had thrown it out to them, you need to be part of this partnership with us. And how do you feel about having in-house childcare if we could find some way to make it some subsidy for you that helped you to do it? And they were very open to the idea. The second part of this is for mother's hours or parents' hours. I recognize some dads do the driving for the children for school or stay home as a parent. And it allows businesses to have a tax break if they provide insurance for people, with the Health Care Act, they have to have it if they employ them for so many hours. So it goes underneath that to part-time positions. But it's around the hours of school. So if they provide mother's hours or parents' hours at their business, they can get a tax break on the insurance that they provide. As you know, a parent who was a volunteer in schools, I saw too many kids being dropped off at 7 o'clock in the morning and picked up at 6 o'clock at night. They have a longer day than their parents do. And so we really want to try to find something. We know in this economy, being a stay-at-home parent is just not, it's just not for a lot of families right now. You have people working 2 or 3 jobs. So we really want to make it so that this helps businesses, but it's also family friendly because New Hampshire is a family friendly state, and we really want to make our workforce also family friendly. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Senator. Discussion. Senator Rosenwald with a question.
Thanks for bringing this. Just curious how you came up with the hours of 9 to 3. I wish my kids had started elementary school at 9. They started at 7:45 in the morning. It was really early.
So thank you for the question. So for my kids, for elementary school, they started at like 8:45. So by the time you drop off and get to work, right, so you're looking at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then in the afternoon, and it fluctuates, of course. That's why we made it kind of broad, because once they get to middle school, where they're still not driving themselves, they start earlier, right? So we tried to make it a window that would be accommodating. I mean, I'm open to, I don't think anyone's talking about parents' hours anywhere in the country for workers and for parents. So I'm always open to have a conversation with you if you think there are better hours for it. But this is
about it offline.
yeah, this is the window that I thought encompassed most families and would support really, it's the younger families, right, that really need this more than any others.
Further discussion? Seeing none, is there a motion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none? Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. McGue. Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, members of the committee. The first bill I'd like to discuss relates to the staff of emergency rooms. Senate Bill 59 was passed by the body to add some additional protection or additional classification for assaults on emergency medical providers. In the past, I've brought this bill, and each time emergency staff have asked to be included. So I'd like the opportunity to entertain that discussion as a full body.
Any discussion? Seeing none, is there a motion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none. All right, Senator?
Thank you so much. The second bill relates to the digital validation of licensure for veterans moving into the state. The full body passed this legislation last session, and then some amendments made by the other body were not accepted by this body. So I'd like to bring it back to facilitate easier licensing for veterans, specifically the spouses of veterans moving into the state with professional licensure.
Thank you. Discussion? Any questions? Is there a motion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none.
Thank you so much.
Doing so good so far. Hey, don't you have another one? No, you don't.
No.
That's Senator Rochford. Here we are. My eyes plays tricks on me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. It feels like I was just here in this room short hours ago.
I know.
Yeah.
Should have just camped out. Let's see, the first one I want to bring forward is designed to address abuses in the New Hampshire disability system. As we probably all saw this fall, New Hampshire Bulletin published a series of 3 articles detailing patterns of abuse and neglect with the New Hampshire's system. We had a number of discussions, not only with Senate leadership, but DHHS and members of the disabled community. We talked about whether, we should do something now or wait. We all felt that, we need to do something now to address that. So this bill would make some changes in reporting. It would make some changes in the makeup and composition of a commission that is designed to oversee that, which is the Incapacitated and Vulnerable Adult Fatality Review Committee. And we feel holding off on this would be a disservice to this community.
Okay, discussion. All in favor?
I know we did motion.
Yeah, we did, yeah. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I thought I heard Ruth say, my fault, Senator. I thought I heard you make a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none.
All right, next one. As we all know, Medicaid dollars are becoming scarcer and scarcer. We have a number of healthcare facilities in the state of New Hampshire just recently published that are struggling. But an issue that has come up and become troubling to me, particularly where I live, is the activities of some of the hospital executives. So at the same time, we're hearing dire straits financially. At the same time, there are large layoffs happening in our small hospitals. Executives of these facilities are collecting massive salaries. Some of our smallest hospitals, the CEOs are collecting nearly $1 million. And at the same time, they're laying off people and restructuring because they say they can't afford to do it. In addition to the $1 million salaries, we're also seeing hundreds of thousands of dollars per individual in bonuses and compensations. So this bill would look to address that. It's our money that's being used to fund these things, and it would provide some oversight and take a look at if there's going to be mass layoffs, there shouldn't be mass bonuses. And that's what this bill looks at.
Thank you, Senator. Discussion. All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none? Thank you, Senator. Senator Gray here?
No, that's me to bring it in. I defer to the senators who go last.
All right. Senator Waters?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I have two proposals for late filing. The first would create a New Hampshire Safe and Resilient Schools Advisory Council. This would help schools look at and sustain, working with partners, classroom management and other services for neurodivergent students and students who may be experiencing mental health issues. It builds on the work done by folks such as Amy Rich Crane, who runs Reach for the Top in New Hampshire, which serves about 300 families with neurodivergent children, and she has an association of the others that provide this kind of education and support. And then also Catherine Leswing at the Department of Education, who has managed when they've had grants to manage this kind of teacher training. And so this would bring together members of ABLE New Hampshire, NAMI, the chiefs of police and education and parents to figure out how we can provide teachers with training in these areas.
All right, questions from the committee? Seeing none, is there a motion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none? Senator Waters, you're recognized again.
Yes, thank you. I have another late bill filing request to authorize Youth Development Center historical marker under the usual provisions of the Department of Transportation and the State Historical Resources Council. That's a facility which is going to be selling pretty soon. It is on a state highway, Daniel Webster Highway Route 3, so it's a location there. And because the building itself, by its age and its government function, it would be eligible for the national and the state historical registers. So for such things, we often do place markers. And I think this one would acknowledge that the facility was there and have some reference to the experience of some of the students who were there as well.
Thank you, Senator. Questions from the committee? Seeing none, thank you. All in favor? Is there a motion? Sorry.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none? Thank you, Senator. Senator Reardon, I don't know if you heard the lecture I gave to Senator. Yeah. Senator Lang.
Good morning, Chairman Avard and members of the Rules Committee. I'm Tara Reardon, representing District 15, Concord, Bow, and Hopkinton. I am here for a request for a study committee at the request of the New Hampshire Liquor Commission. This request started from a cease and desist letter that was sent to some constituents of mine who create herbal tinctures. And the Liquor Commission has some questions and concerns about the alcohol, the high alcohol content of that. Since that time, I have been amazed by the size of this industry, the herbal tincture industry here in New Hampshire. I've heard from the producers, from the users of that, and from a national expert on that. Liquor's intention is to not only bring in that expert testimony, hear from DHHS also, and the framework would include requirements for licensing, testing, inspections, and auditing. After we find out really what these are all about, there's some concerns about existing federal laws, how those will interplay, and how we age restrict these products. So we would rely on the industry to educate us so we could do a better job of a really important industry here in the state of New Hampshire.
Thank you, Senator. Is there any way we can attach this to another bill?
I've looked. I haven't found anything. Open to suggestions if somebody else has I can't find anything else really germane that includes liquor in the creation of these products.
Discussion from the committee. Senator
Grant has a question.
Grant? Suggestion? If you don't mind.
Good morning, Grant Bossy, Deputy Chief of Staff, New Hampshire Senate. Germain is a floating word at the discretion of the Senate itself. There are two bills dealing with the Liquor Commission in commerce. One of them I would suggest is SB 417, requiring state liquor outlets to post warnings relative to the increased risk of cancer and birth defects from drinking alcoholic beverages. It's not the closest bill ever, but it does deal with the Liquor Commission, and if the committee and the full Senate thought it were appropriate, you could add a study committee. We're a little looser adding study committees in determining what is germane and what is not. So if the Senate thought that were appropriate, you could use that vehicle.
Senator Carson?
Thank you. Senator Reardon, did you have a conversation with Senator Innes at all about this?
I did not.
Okay. Thank you.
So would you be agreeable if we could attach it, if the spirit of the Senate would let you?
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what we will do is, I guess we should vote on it anyway at this point, but is there a motion?
Move approve.
Well, if we give our approval, Mr. Chair, then she can just take it right over to OLS
Right.
and draw it. So I think that probably the most appropriate thing would be to have the senator withdraw the proposed bill and then work with the committee.
Senator, are you? Thank you. All right. Senator Long?
Yeah, but Cindy would have to
You
withdraw. her
withdraw?
motion.
No.
She does not withdraw.
Okay, so then.
No, because I think those two things are really different.
Okay. But Senator,
So-
she did withdraw her bill.
You asked for.
Yes. All right.
There is no second.
There is no second, so the motion is not moved forward, and the senator did withdraw. Again, Senator Long, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the committee. I'm Senator Pat Long, representing District 20 in Manchester. I'm looking to request approval of draft of the Senate bill to establish a study committee relative to health insurance practices, policies, and premiums and management. Annually, we have a battle over numerous insurance mandates, so I believe it's best that the chamber take the time to study the issue to gain some clarity and prove the consistency of whatever future legislation we decide to take up. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Again, is
I
there,
get it.
if we can work with you to put it on another bill in the spirit of the Senate, rather than study committee, because traditionally we haven't really done study committees in
Okay.
this form. And you know what? I think next time, if we have a late bills again, we're going to put that notice out, I think. But it's the chairman's fault for not putting out the, that
Yeah,
disclosure, and so it is my fault. But at this time, if you would withdraw, we would be happy to put it on.
Yeah, I'd rather see the committee just say no would be acceptable to
All
me.
right, is there a motion to ITL or to go forward? You want to move forward?
Is he withdrawing his?
He's not withdrawing, so he would like a motion.
Okay.
So is there a yes or a no? All right, I'm going to vote no. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. All in favor of no? Say aye.
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 Any opposed?
No.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator, before you go, did you reach out to Senator Innes to work with him as the committee chair to find a bill that you would be able to attach it to? Because we'll be more than happy to work with you to do that. And Grant?
Grant
if
has
you
an
could just-
idea.
Grant has an idea, and
Yeah, my suggestion would be you are about to take up a request by Senator Altschiller on protections for healthcare consumers. That is a very wide-ranging bill, and it would certainly encompass health insurance. So that might be an appropriate vehicle in the HHS committee.
okay.
That's great. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator Fenton?
He's not here. Oh, they'll bring him in.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and honorable members of the committee. For the record, I'm Pete Mulvey, Director of Policy and Communications for the Senate Minority Office. I'm here today to request approval on behalf of Senator Fenton that he be allowed to move forward with legislation to establish a study commission to analyze the impacts that AI and its deployment have had on commercial and political activity in the state. This is a largely novel technology that is being utilized exponentially more by the day, so I believe it is in our best interest to gain a greater understanding of its effects.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Good morning.
Is there a discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Good morning. I think you've sat here and heard us say we traditionally do not do study committees through late rules. What I'd like to suggest is, because we've already authorized Senator Perkins Polka to bring in a bill concerning creating an AI position in the Department of Justice, if we could attach the AI study committee language to that, I think it's completely germane. And Senator Perkins Polka, would you be amenable to that?
Yeah, thanks for the suggestion. I would, as long as the body sort of considers they're different. One is an actual request for position appropriation, and one is, to sort of look at including the issue of political AI. So I think as long as we can kind of work collaboratively to figure out what
we
works.
can do
Okay.
that.
All right.
So,
I'll withdraw it.
so,
You withdraw?
Yeah.
Thank you, thank
all
you.
right,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Is Senator Altshuler here? Oh,
Still for the record, Pete Mulvey,
Looking at her.
here today to request approval
At the same point, she's changed.
on behalf here today to request approval on behalf of Senator Altschiller that she be allowed to move forward with legislation to improve transparency and reporting of certain healthcare transactions to the Consumer Protection Bureau with the Department of Justice. The transactions concerned would be largely mergers and acquisitions by private equity or for-profit firms, which have been taking place at an increasing rate in New Hampshire and the entire United States. We believe that increased transparency is necessary to understand the implications that ownership changes may have regarding closures, consolidations, quality of care, and accessibility of care.
thank you, Senator Altshuler. Any questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none? Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator.
You're not for Senator Inez.
Yeah, no, Grant.
Thank you. If the committee so chooses, if you could explicitly let OLS know that you think it's okay to attach Senator Long's study to the Altschiller LSR. So you can just do that right in OLS.
Okay,
Do you need us to take a vote, or?
I think as long as Courtney is clear on your intent, you're okay.
I immediately looked at you, so hopefully, yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right, Senator Innes, welcome
No,
back.
he's not here,
I know.
and he's withdrawn it.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. Grant Bossy, Deputy Chief of Staff, New Hampshire Senate. I'll be introducing the last three on the agenda today. The first is from Senator Innes. This is a request of a constituent to replace New Hampshire's current partisan primary with an open primary. Many states and many cities, including Manchester and other cities in New Hampshire, have a single ballot primary in which voters choose the top two candidates who will progress to the general election. This provides a less partisan atmosphere and allows greater participation by independent and non-aligned voters. And Senator Innes would thank you for your consideration.
So a question from the committee would be, is this for the 2026 election?
2026 would probably be a little tight since we're moving the primary up. The filing period is starting during the legislative session. It's unlikely this bill would be done in time for the 2026 filing period.
So we can entertain this in the next bite.
That's certainly a choice.
Okay, so I'm going to entertain a motion of no.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor of no? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Me.
Me is not an aye. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The second request from Senator Innes concerns professional employer organizations. Current law requires professional employer organizations such as employee leasing companies to provide workers' compensation insurance. This is an authorization bill, a voluntary bill. This would allow either that organization or the underlying company itself to provide the workers' comp insurance. The insurance would still be required. It would just be up to those businesses to decide whether it made sense to do it up at the employee leasing company level or at the company that actually does the work. And he thinks that would be flexibility that we should be giving to New Hampshire small businesses. Thank you.
Okay, discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, Senator Gray?
Thank you. Last request of the day for the Rules Committee. This is a request by the Secretary of State's office to clarify language. As you know, we provide voters with the opportunity for a free non-driver's ID for voting purposes. This would clarify for what purposes that would be made. And if you have any policy questions, I'm sure the Secretary of State's office would be happy to answer them at the public hearing.
Thank you. Discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none. Is there any further business for the committee? All right, I'm just going to read this one more time. If rules approve late introductions, you will need to file the LSR with OLS today. We suggest you or your aide go over right after this meeting. OLS is expecting you. We will ask OLS to complete the drafting of all LSRs by Thursday, January 29th at 4 p.m. Prime and co-sponsors must complete the sign-off by Tuesday, February 3rd at 4 p.m. at the latest. The Senate President may waive these deadlines, but only if OLS needs a little more time to complete the drafting. We expect to have all the late bills signed off by February 3rd, and we want to thank you for all your participation. And with that, we are going to close the hearing.